Walter Elias Disney was an American animator, film producer, entrepreneur, but most of all, he was a believer. In the 1920s, Walt created the Alice comedies, which were a series of cartoons that featured a live-action little girl named Alice and her animated cat, Julius. The two had many adventures in an animated landscape. Walt created Oswald the Lucky Rabbit when he worked for Universal Pictures. The rabbit starred in a series of 26 animated black and white silent shorts. Oswald was a spunky and mischievous character that brought real performance and emotion to the screen. However, making these shorts took money that Walt did not have. Walt went to Charles Mintz, the president of Universal Pictures, to ask for an increase in pay. On this trip, Walt learned that in fact Mintz wanted to cut his pay by 20%. He also learned that Mintz controlled the rights to Oswald. Walt suffered greatly from the loss of his beloved creation. Walt learned from his loss and went on to create another successful character that no one would ever be able to take away. In 1928, Walt Disney and Up Earworks created the world-renowned character known as Mickey Mouse. Mickey was an anthropomorphic mouse who typically wore red shirts, yellow shoes, and white gloves. Mickey starred in several animated shorts, including Steamboat Willie, the first animation to include sound. With the introduction of color in 1932, Walt created flowers and trees. The incorporation of both sound and color were huge accomplishments of Walt Disney, but nothing compared to what happened in 1937. Walt Disney created Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the first full-length animated motion picture. Audience loved the magic animations brought, and Walt took it to a whole new level. Walt then created Dumbo, the story of an amazing elephant's journey to becoming a star. In 1947, Walt released Fun and Fancy Free, another animated picture including several segments. Bambi was the first Disney movie to consist of only animal characters. Make Mine Music was an arrangement of several segments set to music. Walt then took a more cultural approach in 1942 with the creation of Saludos Amigos and the Three Caballeros, which first appeared in New Mexico on December 21, 1945. Melody Time, a 1948 film, also features segments set to popular music at that time. This was an attempt to help American citizens find comfort during World War II. The Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad was a 1949 animated feature that comprised two segments based on the stories The Wind in the Willows and The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. In 1950, Walt Disney released The Timeless Tale of Cinderella. Peter Pan was then created in 1953 by Walt Disney and based on the original play of The Boy Who Never Grew Up. Walt created Alice in Wonderland in 1951, based primarily on Lewis Carroll's Alice's Adventures in Wonderland, with a few additional elements from Through the Looking Glass. Walt Disney created Sleeping Beauty in 1959, based on the fairy tale by Charles Perrault. 101 Dalmatians was created by Walt in 1961, based on the novel by Dottie Smith. When Lady and the Tramp was created, audience realized how animals can have just as much emotion as people, even in the romance aspect.
During the last few years, we've ventured into a lot of different fields, and we've had the opportunity to meet and work with a lot of wonderful people. I only hope that we never lose sight of one thing, that it was all started by a mouse.